Welcome to the Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series presented by Continental Tires. I'm your host, Lars Tribune, and we're here at Ride Rock Creek Bike Park in western North Carolina for the first round in our 5-race national series. Last year's inaugural season came down to the final round to determine our series champions. Aletha Ostgaard and Eris van Leuven passed the ODI red plate back and forth all season, but it was Ostgaard that clinched the series overall by just a couple points. And Dante Silva's consistent performance was enough to hold off Cole Sweathurst.
Dante Silva taking the
Ostgaard and Silva are here to defend their titles against one of the strongest lineups in North American downhill. Vermette, Newkirk, Gwin, Shaw, Skelton, Baumann, Pinkerton all know the stakes. To win here demands a nearly flawless run. The Pro Downhill Series crew and our partners at Gravity Co-op are excited you've joined us for what's sure to be an amazing start to the 2025 season. Let's catch up with a few of our riders to hear how they're approaching the track. In the pits here with Dante Silva, last year's series overall champion. Dante, we're back at it 2025 here at Rock Creek. Tell us a little bit about the course.
Yeah, I'm super stoked to be kicking off the season for the Pro Downhill Series here at Rock Creek. It's a super fun track, and I think this track actually requires a lot of focus. You have to just be really patient and not try to rush it, but you still need to have that real high intensity, because as soon as you start rushing sections, you're gonna be out of the tape. I love these like huge bomb holes that are like on the landing of some of these doubles. Everyone's complaining about them, but I love it. It feels like you're an outdoor moto track.
Kailey, you escaped the cold weather. We're down here at Ride Rock Creek. How are you feeling this weekend?
I'm feeling really good. My favorite spots have to be like corners. You can just really pump into them, and then the little drop sequences are pretty cool. There's a bunch of cool little like inside lines that I like a lot.
So at the top, you're starting on the outsides, pumping the turns, and then graduating to the insides and keeping it tight?
Yeah, graduating to the inside. There's a few drop sequences and then a sneaky little inside over the log there that I've been doing, which is super sick. And then just trying to keep the flow of the track up those steep uphills.
Luca, tell us how the track's shaping up.
It's shaping up really good. Now that the sun's out and we got a breeze, it's drying out and getting faster. The rain from yesterday helped the lines develop and create some lines in the turns and ruts and holes.
As the track's drying up, the decisions are evolving. Tell us a little bit about what you've been choosing. Are you choosing more outside and keeping the flow, or keeping things tight?
Yeah, it kind of depends on the section. There is actually so many lines on this track that are hard to tell which one's faster. Like most corners and most sections have a good inside and a good outside. And so kind of figuring out which flows together and like kind of suits your style is, I think, the way to go. The dirt is so good and there's so much grip and there's like holes. It just feels like a motocross track to me. So that gets me stoked.
Yeah, the track is super fun. Good combo of everything. There's a lot of big compressions, some big jumps and gaps, and some just super fast ripping sections and turns.
One of the things we've noticed about this track are the line choices and the different options. And as an athlete, you try to pick one, stick with it, and make sure it holds. Are there a couple sections where you're still having that internal struggle on which one to pick?
There's two sections for me, really. One where you come off of the new Lomer part after the step up. And this year, there's a sick rut on the outside, or you can do the inside and cut off a bit of the track. As well as a section past the old mulch section. There's an outside with a turn, or there's an inside where you can cut off a bit of track, and then there's an outside rut that pushes past. The main thing is for that is exit speed. So we're trying to figure out what gives the best exit speed into the next section. In track walk, we're kind of looking at both, and then after trying them, I feel like for the most part, I'm on the outside lines.
Will Washam here in the announcing booth with Sean Grizz McClendon. We're stoked to get this season kicked off of Monster Energy Pro Downhill presented by Continental with round one here at Ride Rock Creek. And you take a look at this top 10, it's a who's who of USDH with some international flair as well. We've got our current national champion, Anna Newkirk, who was on top of seeding yesterday with a 2:08, followed closely by Aletha Ostgaard, our defending series champ, and Kailey Skelton in third place, a two-time U.S. downhill national champion.
That's right, Will. Love to see all these former and current national champions running in the top three. You can look at these times and see that they really separated themselves in seeding. We can see that the battle for the podium today is really Anna versus Allie versus Kailey. The ladies from 4th to 10th, they will need to find some serious time if they want to contend for a podium today.
Well, and the conditions here for race day will help those riders from 4th to 10th make up some time. A little bit drier today for finals and some more free speed on tap from the course here at Ride Rock Creek. We've got our top 5 women coming up on the broadcast, but first, let's check out our hot seat rider, Taylor Ostgaard. Taylor Ostgaard going to give us a preview of these conditions. As I mentioned, Grizz, they've really improved, and this track is all business straight from the top.
That's what we love to see here at Rock Creek, Will. We always know racing times are super tight. You know, this track is the easiest in terms of the riders, you know, skill level. This is the easiest track for them to race this season, but also a great round to open up the series. Taylor Ostgaard, 20.3 at split 1.
Well, we'll keep that number in the back of our head because that's our current SR Sun Tour hole shot leader. Extra $500 cash going to the rider with the fastest first split. And speaking of fast, Grizz, Ostgaard is moving right here. She's riding this course extremely aggressively.
Yeah, Taylor's looking great. She really came out of the gate swinging and hasn't backed off at all. Split 2, 111.85. Wow, look at that exit speed out of that corner. I love this new section here too, Will. Nice little off-camber. It'll be interesting to see what line options we see as this race progresses. Taylor taking the inside line into the steepest bit of the track here.
You can see the dust kicking up from the rear tires. We had some rain earlier this week, but man, conditions could not be any better. Split number 3, it's a 1:43, so that's 4 seconds off the top pace we saw from Anna Newkirk yesterday. We'll be checking in all those splits as we progress through this race. This is a section that we've seen in a couple different races here at Ride Rock Creek in the classic diving board.
Taylor 159.76, so under 2 minutes going into split 4. Oh, coming up a little bit short on that. I like that new jump. Rock Creek Trail Crew did a great job prepping this track as Taylor threads the needle there. That rock that she just jumped into, that is not an easy mark to hit, Will.
Well, there's so many features here. This track action-packed. Shorter course as well. It's a 2:12 for Ostgaard. It just means every one of those sections is so important, so impactful. And that was some aggressive riding right there. I'm really stoked to see what we'll get into in the top 5.
Yeah, Taylor Ostgaard shaving about 6 seconds off of her seating time. She's got to be happy with that. You know, Will, I think she could have found some more time. The only critique I have for Taylor is that she was entering a lot of these berms to the inside and squaring them off.
Well, here's our top 5. Lisa Baumann out of Switzerland, riding for Commensal Schwab by Leor. She was 3rd place last week at the Tennessee National, so really getting in her groove here racing in the U.S. this early season.
Love to see all these World Cuppers getting their preseason races done here in the East Coast of the United States. And look at Lisa getting cranks right out of the top section. You got to ride this track with full intensity from top to bottom. Minimize all mistakes, Will.
20.89 at the split number 1 SR Sun Tour hole shot, so she's going to be second. Taylor Ostgaard holding on to that hole shot title for one more rider. You can see the compressions, just how violent they are as Baumann sends it off these drops.
You know, as I mentioned, this is the easiest track for these riders, but by no means is this an easy track. To your point, these compressions are the real deal. They are spine-jarring if you miss a mark. And wow, she has reeled in some time, Will. Green by 2.32 seconds.
Oh, and I love that high line that she just did, jumping up right there onto the new section. She dives into this steep bit of the track, rails that outside line, grabs a couple pedals as well.
Yeah, good point. I noticed that Baumann took a different line than Ostgaard did in that steepest bit of the track, and she has maintained that 2.43 second gap, pulling a little bit more time even as we approach the final splits in the finish line here, Will.
Yeah, Baumann is showing her world-class pedigree. The Swiss national champ, also 2-time Swiss Enduro champ, so she's really heavy on those sprint pedals, losing just a tiny bit of time, but she's still green by 1.5. Opts to go inside there on that new big rhythm section.
Smart move. Rather than case that big double, it's better to just roll up and maintain pace. Get as much speed as you can for this finish line jump. And again, this jump you've got to clear, because as we saw in Downhill Southeast Round 1, if you hang up that jump, it can cost you 2 to 3 seconds.
Oh, and Baumann gets it clean. She's into the green by 1.5 seconds, rolling into the hot seat, so it's a 2:11. Still 3 seconds outside of that time we saw from Anna Newkirk yesterday.
Great riding. Looks like Baumann is getting quite comfortable here in the United States, getting adjusted to these shorter sprint tracks, and love to see the lines that she applied. Let's take it to our next rider.
Well, Maylei Leaneagh out of Frederick, Colorado. She's really been coming on the last couple seasons, Grizz, doing some racing at the Downhill Rocky. She was 4th right here at Rock Creek at National Champs last year.
Love to see Colorado gravity racers making a comeback on the national scene, obviously highlighted by Asa Vermette out of Durango, Colorado, the legendary zone. But Maylei, good to see her in the replay here. She's been having a good season thus far, and she is green at Split 1, trying to get that SR Sun Tour Whole Shot Award, Will.
Yeah, $500 currently in Mayleigh's pocket until someone tries to take it away from her. Really inspired riding up here at the top. Huge double down into that SR Sun Tour section. Just really impressed with what I'm seeing.
Yeah, opting to go through the middle line in that what is the hardest rock garden here at Rock Creek. Split 2, she's lost a little bit of time. Looked like her intensity did back off between Split 1 and 2. She's having to grab some pedals up this new uphill section into the steepest bit. Looked like she went outside to inside, outside to middle, and now she's right back on the pace, Will.
Yeah, Leaneagh taking it to the track here at Rock Creek for the opening round of the Monster Energy Pro Downhill this year. Split number 3, she's clawing some time back, just 1.15 into the red. You know, she was 6th place in the overall, having only raced 3 out of the 4 rounds, so hopefully we'll see Maylei at every round this year. Maybe try to get to that top 3.
Participation is key, and I like what I'm seeing here. She's taking nice, wide entrances into these berms. Still losing a little bit of time. Looks like she's lost about another 1/10 of a second, opting for the same line that we just saw from Baumann. Rolling that triple.
And she's going to go outside right there on that really interesting rock rhythm, but was able to carry some exit speed there as we see Maylei Leaneagh coming up to the final jump, trying to carry some pace through the finish line. She'll break the beam and go second, pulling back a little bit of time there at the bottom. There's time to be made all over this track, Chris.
Yeah, and it's tough to tell on camera. I thought she was actually going to go 3rd, but hats off to Maylei for maintaining that 2nd place as she crosses the line. She rode this section nice and conservative, but with great pace, you know, opting for that middle line. A lot of riders we're going to see going riders left as this race progresses.
Well, our top 3 right now, Baumann, Leaneagh, and Ostgaard, as we have 3 riders left to go. Kailey Skelton out of Santa Margarita, California, put in it a 3rd yesterday with a 2:13 for Ari Factory Racing.
I knew we would see Ari at some downhill races. I hope that Kailey contends the entire Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series this year, because we know she's got the chops for the overall.
Oh, and look at that precise riding. She cut the inside there, shortened up that corner. It's going to be fast at the SR Sun Tour Whole Shot, and it's 1 second the advantage there, 19.84.
Wow, that creative line with that early braking really paid off. She's in contention to take that $500 from SR Sun Tour for the Whole Shot. And wow, she is just ripping these upper woods here, Will.
And if you've been a fan of USDH for a while, that's not going to surprise you that Skelton is absolutely tearing this track apart. She's a 2-time U.S. national champ, Split 2. Oh, she's lost just a bit of time. Plenty of opportunities to make it up, though. She loves it when it gets steep, and here comes the steepest section of the track.
Yeah, you can see those enduro skills coming into play as she pedaled up that slight rise in the track. Loving this new section, Will, and Kailey going for an inside line on the exit of those steep woods. Now she's starting to square up these lower berms. Let's see if this pays off for her.
Oh, she's clawed time back, so only about a half second in it. Oh, Skelton goes deep off that rock drop. We knew she was going to come out aggressive here at Rock Creek. She's got some demons to exercise from round number 1 last year, where she was up in it to win it before she went down on that final jump.
Whew, let's not see a repeat of that. That was a scary get off. We're all happy that, wow, Skelton is reeling it in, Will. She's really, really carrying some serious pace. Taking that, rolling those jumps, but the fastest that we've seen thus far.
Well, Skelton was 4th place at the U.S. Open last year, ended her season on a high note, trying to start off her downhill season this year on a high note here at the Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series presented by Continental. Skelton going to sprint it across the line, and she goes fastest into the hot seat, 0.3 into the green. Oh, man, that's a big run right there, Griz, 211 flat.
What an exciting run. She went green, red, back to green. So that middle section of this track is going to be key for our top 3 overall. And really, it's whoever can execute Split 2 and down to the finish will likely win today.
Let's hear from Kailey.
So Kailey, rock and roll. We got a 2-time national champion here. How does it feel to redeem yourself after last year? You were just smoking everybody last year. Little get off at the end, but you just threw down a heater. How you feeling?
Tired. Yeah, it felt good yesterday to break the beam for the first time and knock all the cobwebs off. It was squirrely yesterday, so yeah, track got rough, and it just feels good to be racing again. It was a long, good off season, and we're stoked to be back with all the fast men and women, and stoked to be safe, make it over that last jump. But yeah, the track's real rough right now. Had a couple pretty significant mistakes, but that's how it goes, and that's why we stay strong. So yeah, we had a good time, and thank you everyone for putting these races on. They're awesome.
2 riders left, Griz, and Aletha Ostgaard, our defending series champ, was second yesterday, but I know she wants to be on the top spot of the box today.
Well, coming into this race, Aletha is undefeated in her 2025 campaign here on U.S. soil. And Will, I'm just going to say it. Right now, Aletha is the fastest, not just the fastest junior, she's the fastest woman in U.S. downhill. And out of the gate, she is just charging.
When that first split proves your point right there at 19.7, so she's taken over the SR Sun Tour hole shot. And she is loose, swinging off that canyon.
She looks so comfortable on her new bike. Love to see how playful her riding style is developing. You know, and I've said it in the Gravity Co-op Hot Seat podcast, but I'm really noticing that Aletha is starting to ride like Luca Shaw, which, what a teammate to learn from. Extending her lead.
The gap almost left me speechless there, Griz. 3.2 at split number 2.
Yeah, I'm like, am I reading that right? Is that a 3.2 second gap? It sure is. And, you know, what I was saying, this from here on down, this is where the podium really, you know, this is where these riders are going to find themselves, first, second, or third. Nailing all these corners, maintaining that entrance and exit speed with no mistakes. What? She's extending 4 seconds up at split 3, Will.
Yeah, and this is a track that Ostgaard likes as she rips that right-hander. Took a win here at Rock Creek last year. She was no worse than second on the entire season for the Monster Energy Pro Downhill in 2024. Split number 4. Oh, and she's extending more. It's 4.3 into the green. Oh, she's going to hang up just a bit there. She's got some time to play with. Has to go heavy on the cranks.
As you pointed out, she does have some time to play with. I love to see her just be aggressive, go for that gap, and that was the first time we've seen a rider kind of single and then to try to double out. What can Aletha do? Can she maintain her lead as she crosses the beam here?
Oh, she does. Extends it even. 4.7 into the green. Aletha Ostgaard takes over the hot seat with a 2.6. That's going to be about 2 seconds faster than Anna Newkirk's top time from yesterday. The gauntlet has just been thrown down.
Unbelievable. I mean, Will, I have nothing more to say other than I believe the hype. Aletha Ostgaard is the business. Stars and Stripes Downhill is here, ladies and gentlemen, with Aletha Ostgaard and Asa Vermette. Get out of the way.
Well, speaking of Stars and Stripes, Griz, the Stars and Stripes sleeve is about to make an appearance on our final rider down the hill, Anna Newkirk, for Frameworks 5 Dev Racing. Put down a 2:08 yesterday, so she's going to have to shave a couple seconds off if she wants to take the win.
Anna's capable. I mean, she's looking great on her new Frameworks bike. Talk about a dream team. I think the vibes on the Factory Frameworks program is about as high as they get for a race team. And Anna is looking like she is just absolutely ready to win this race. You can see the aggression, a lot of feedback going into her body. That just means she is charging well.
Yeah, she is on the limit already, seeing traction break in a couple corners. She's not going to take home $500 from SR Sun Tour, though. That is going to go to Aletha Ostgaard. But Newkirk trying to bring home race wins.
From here down, Anna just needs to build this run, keep her pace up, and just find time and exit speed. And unfortunately, I just saw a quick mistake right there, little bobble in that corner, and it does cost her. She's 1.63 back at split 2, Will. She's really got her work cut out for her if she wants to get the W today.
Well, but you can see the desire in those powerful cranks that Newkirk just laid down before the steep section. You're right. There's no room left for mistakes. It's got to be inch perfect here for Newkirk on the bottom half of this track.
And the way she's riding, super aggressive, losing a little bit more time at split 3, you know, I'm kind of seeing the Pinkerton effect happening right here for Anna Newkirk. She's overriding this track just a little bit, and it's these tiny mistakes that are costing her a 10th here, 2 tenths there, and she's just bleeding time, unfortunately. But love to see the aggression. I mean, she wants it.
Yeah, she's holding pat there at split number 4, so didn't really lose any, didn't really gain any time. She's over that jump a little bit better than Ostgaard, though. So let's see if she can carry that momentum down. Oh, she's going to be clean over that double as well.
Ooh.
She was 4th last week at Tennessee National, trying to start her season off with a big win here at the Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series. Newkirk going to power it down to the finish line. Will it be enough? She'll go second, 2:08.44, right on pace with her time from yesterday. Let's hear from our winner, Aletha Ostgaard, in the finish corral.
I am, and I just saw how big that smile just got. It's always stressful right at the 11th hour, but Allie, man, you're Pro Downhill Series winner from last year. You just won round 1. You got a huge smile. Tell us about your run. I think everyone here wants to hear all about it.
My run was so tiring, but so good. I'm still out of breath, as you can tell. But it was so good. I always have loved this race, and there's been a lot of competition lately, so it's really been testing my limits.
Well, it's impressive because, you know, the riders that seated right in front of you and right behind you, they're both got 2 national champs under their belt, and you're just coming in making a statement. So any moments on course where you just kind of scared yourself, or was it all just what you planned?
I definitely scared myself a couple times, but that's also how you know you're pushing, how I know that I'm going the fastest I can without crashing and getting reckless, so I can't complain.
Well, rock and roll, Allie. High fives. You did it unofficially, I think, because there might be a protest period, but I don't think we're going to see anything unfold crazy. But congratulations, winning round number 1, our current series champion from last year. It's just awesome.
Well, here's your podium. Champagne all around here. We got Lisa Baumann, Maylei Leaneagh, Kailey Skelton, Anna Newkirk, and your winner of round number 1, Aletha Ostgaard. Make it rain, ladies. Well, Aletha might be pretty experienced on taking race wins. She needs a little more experience in the champagne popping, but I'm sure she'll get there this season.
All right, give it up for these ladies one more time. They raced hard for you all weekend long. Let's make some noise.
Well, this top 10 from pro men's seating yesterday is a who's who of USDH with some international flavor sprinkled in for good measure. Tyler Waite seated in 3rd. He's the Oceania champ out of New Zealand. And in 7th, Antione Pierron, the Frenchman, winner of a French Cup race earlier this season, keeping it interesting here in the top 10.
Speaking of interesting, we've got exactly 5 seconds separating our top 10 seeded riders, Will. Asa Vermette up front with a second gap. But you look at 3 riders on a 153, 4 riders on a 155, Chris Grice on a 156. Local boys, Neko Mulally, Chris Grice, they know this track better than anyone, but we also know Luca Shaw is undefeated. He won here earlier this season. Richie Rude, Gwin, both capable of throwing down big runs, big results. And Ryan Pinkerton, he is just ripe and ready to get a win here on U.S. soil.
Yeah, they're all chasing Asa Vermette. We've got our top 10 coming your way, but first, let's check in with our hot seat rider. Jonty Williamson going to get us kicked off as our hot seat rider out of New Zealand, riding for Yeti Fox Factory.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. Love to see Yeti back in the mix here in downhill. They've been missed, and they've got a stacked roster coming into the 2025 season, Will.
Yeah, they've had the whole crew out here for a little USDH racing block. It's a 17.99 for Williamson at split number 1, that SR Sun Tour hole shot. We'll be keeping an eye on that one.
Keeping an eye on the lines Jonty is going to opt for here. We've got this new section coming up, the off-camber. Let's see what the Kiwi can do. We know Kiwis are no stranger to off-camber. In fact, they excel. Probably better than anybody in the off-camber.
Yeah, he just went straight inside there. Beautiful bit of riding. So it's a 101.42 at split number 2. That's only less than 2 seconds back on Asa Vermette from yesterday.
Williamson is flying, loving the utilization of the outside bit in that high speed and off-camber steep section. Great exit speed. Yeah, this dude is setting a high bar for these riders today, Will.
Yes, he is. 128, so less than 3 seconds back on Vermette right there. That corner's starting to get a little bit rough.
Yeah, see that bike just staying on top of those bumps, quite nice. Williamson doing a great job of managing those heavy compressions into that berm, into all these berms. On rails.
Yeah, I love what I'm seeing here on this rhythm section. The crowd's getting pretty revved up here at Rock Creek as well.
Making some noise. Love to see it. Williamson on the pedals. Looks like he's got plenty of speed. Oh, little no is heavy. Whew, trying to Kailey Skelton that one. Nope. Williamson safely across the line.
Wow, yeah, Yeti Fox Factory out here in full force. Hucking stuff for the young man out of New Zealand, getting us primed and ready for this stacked top 10. As we see Dante Silva kicking us off, put down a 157 yesterday in qualifying, riding for Intense USA and Monster Army. The defending champ is on track.
Defending champ indeed. You see the one plate up front of his new Intense M1, and Dante Silva will be looking to get a podium today. He's going to want to maintain that red plate all season long as much as he possibly can.
He's looking clean up here, split number 1. Oh, and he's going to best that time of Williamson, a 17.6 at the SR Suntour hole shot.
Well, if he can keep it up, he'll be looking at a 153 or better, which would be a ripping time. Podium contention. He'll just need to make quick work, opting for that middle line in these rocks, going a little bit more inside than we just saw from Jonty Williamson, but still maintaining great pace. Let's see if that costs him any time. It did, Will, just a little bit. He's 0.31 back.
Well, he's right there in the mix. And that back wheel slide out a little bit as he sets up for the steep section. Checks out on that outside line. Love these TLD kits, by the way.
Yeah, good and bright. Classic. I mean, yeah, truly a staple brand in gravity racing. Dante giving up a little bit more time. I think it's going to pay off to use the track today, Will, meaning these inside lines really aren't paying off for Dante. Unfortunately, this is not going to be the run that he wanted, but, you know, still early season. He's bleeding a little bit more time at split 4. Can he bring in some time here to the finish line?
Oh, huge there on those rhythm sections. Silva eating it up. Yeah, he slipped back to 4th place there at the final split. These times are so tight, though. A really good rhythm down here at the bottom can definitely make up a position or two. And here comes Silva. Yeah, he will make up some time. He'll go into 3rd place, a 155.59 there. Man, so much to unpack on this track.
Yeah, Silva just riding a little bit tight inside lines. It worked against him in the middle of the track, but you can see he made up time on that finish line jump by greasing it clearly. And he reeled back into 1 position, finishing 3rd right now. Let's see if he can maintain that as we get deeper into our top 10.
And Chris, it's going to be tough with the riders that we have coming up. And the local legend, Chris Grice out of Pisgah Forest, North Carolina. Happy birthday to Chris. Just turned 22 earlier this week.
22 and a veteran of downhill racing. He's been racing for a long time. What's old Grice Crispy got for us on his local track? You know he is hungry for a big result. He had a huge crash at TTC at round 2 of Downhill Southeast, and he could have potentially won that if he kept it upright. And he's in touch at split 1. Not going to get the whole shot award, but that's right where you want to be.
Yeah, just 100th in it, nothing at all. Grice going to try to time up all these various features and compressions. Track not the same as it's been, though. Oh, he got a nice double.
Yeah, good gap setup. You going tape to tape. I think this is the line it will take to increase your positions and get closer to the podium. And he's still in touch, just 0.25 back. We got plenty of track left for Grice to reel that in.
Yeah, sitting in 2nd place right now. What I was trying to say, Grizz, is a lot of these sections are mixed up. So, yes, it's Grice Crispy's local hill, but there's a different flavor, a different rhythm to the track this week for the Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series. Still right there in touch at split 3.8 back.
So he's bleeding a little bit of time, and, you know, Will, to your point on the track, I'm seeing it's dry over wet, so it looks like there's still tons of grip. Not seeing the tires skirting out. These guys are all railing these berms, no problems. Grice on the gas, getting serious cranks. Oh, he's maintaining that deficit. Can he reel it in here? We know Williamson did make a mistake on this final jump, so Grice can pull in about a half second to a second if he gets this final jump clear.
Chris Grice winding it up down here. Knew he was going to throw that ET. 2nd, 155.35, just outside the time of Jonty Williamson, 0.9 into the red.
Finish line jump. So maybe it's not a second deficit today, but he Grice did just reel in a half second right there at the finish line. Great riding from Grice. This is more of what we like to see, and I'm sure Chris is going to be very happy with this run. Regardless of what position he gets, this was a good run for Chris Grice.
Well, I know Grice is going to want to beat this next man, Neko Mulally. A little bit of a budding rivalry from the locals here in the Pisgah Forest region. Put down a 155 yesterday for team manager at Frameworks 5 Dev.
Bike park owner, Frameworks team owner. You know, I did see Neko using the tactical lung expansion cartridge in practice, opening up those lungs for a little bit of an extra advantage against his competition, the old Marlboro Reds.
Oh, he's going to need everything he can get with this field here. He wants to defend home turf.
Boom.
Oh, and he's first right now, the whole shot by 300ths.
Wow, it's going to be interesting to see how tight that whole shot difference is, if it's going to maintain the hundredths or if someone's going to get up into the tenths, maybe even a second gap there at split one. Rick doing a similar line as we just saw from Chris Grice.
Coming up to split two, he's still right in touch, 102.19. Neko is such a master at generating speed. I saw that huge pump that he carried out of that compression.
Yeah, big pump. He got a crank into that new kind of uphill off camber, maintain the wide line. I think that's the fast race line for today, just carrying as much speed as possible.
Oh, the time's gone by just a bit. He slipped into third place, 2 seconds back on Jonty Williamson.
Tough to see where Neko's losing the time. His intensity is right where it needs to be. He's up there at a 10 out of 10, kind of squaring off that berm a little bit. That may cost him a bit more, and it sure did, about a half second, Will.
Oh, he's going to tug that big double picture. Perfect right there. Right to the outside line again as Neko Mulally brings it home in front of the Continental banners. Surely the crowd here at Rock Creek going to go crazy for him. Mulally smooth to the backside there of the final jump. Oh, man, and the time really went by for Mulally, 2.4 down at the bottom. And, I mean, that's just going to put you back in the order when things are as tight as they are here in Rock Creek.
Yeah, finishing in 15th, that tells us a lot of riders stepped it up and found some time today. Neko, maybe, you know, just could have used the lung expansion cartridge for this run, get a little bit more juice. Either way, good to see Rick between the tape.
Well, I know Neko is going to be really proud to have this guy all the way from France riding at his bike park. Antione Pierron riding for Commensal Schwab by Leora. Man, that's really turned it up so far this season.
Yeah, I think this is his first appearance in the U.S. Well, first time I've seen him racing in the U.S., and Pierron looking like he's getting quite comfortable. Be curious to hear what these riders think about the dirt out here and the difference between Tennessee and now Rock Creek. Oh, he's up by 0.12. At the SR Sun Tour hole shot, Will.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the conversion rate would be to euros, but $500 is still $500. He's loose.
You could certainly get a few baguettes with $500 US. Pierron looking dangerously fast in this nice steep off-camber section here. What is split 2 going to tell us? He's maintaining that lead, 0.12, so he's right where he needs to be as he comes into this steepest section of the track going wide, too wide. How will that pay off?
Oh, just made that look like it was nothing. It's a good benchmark for the American racers. He took a French Cup win earlier this season at one of their national rounds. Split number 3. Oh, he's still right in touch, just 0.3 back.
All right, so maybe I'm going to retract what I'm saying about going wide in that steep off camber. It looks like riders are losing time. We've just seen Pierron and Neko Mulally lose time from split 2 to 3, opting for that wide track. Pierron just poetry in motion. He's reeled it right back in, almost a half second in the green, Will. Holy cow.
Oh, he's putting it together down here at the bottom section of the track. Crucial section right there. Clean on that double. Whips through that right-hander. Antione Pierron. It's his 7th season in Elite. Trying to make some noise here in the U.S. with a big scrub on that final jump. And he goes into the hot seat. It's a 154 inspired riding down there at the bottom from Pierron. 2/10 into the lead.
Unbelievable to see these riders go from green to red and back to green in all these splits. So, interesting race day. Pierron just laid down a master class in how to ride here at Rock Creek.
Yeah, that wasn't main line, that wasn't inside, that was a mixture of lines right there. And speaking of a mixture and master of lines, Aaron Gwin for Gwin Racing up here. He was 6th yesterday in seeding. He's had some really exciting runs right here at Rock Creek.
That he has, and Gwin is 100% back on form. I still believe he has a 100% podium rate since he's returned to racing on the U.S. soil. He had a podium last weekend at the Tennessee National, his amazing race that was just unbelievable. Wow. 9 100s back. So I'm not going to get that $500 from SR Sun Tour, but we know Aaron can build his race runs, Will.
Yeah, he can. He's got so much experience. 20 World Cup wins to his name. Second winningest World Cup rider of all time. Squashes that section. We've seen some people double. Oh, but he accelerates out of that off camber.
Unbelievable pace. That was a great line. He's saving energy, and it paid off big. He's almost a second into the green at split 2, Will.
Gwin, a master at carrying speed. You see no cranks needed on that little bus stop uphill off camber section.
Great setup. Oh, we've got a spectator in the way. Get out of the way of the goat, Grom.
Oh, and he's extended 0.5 into the green at split number 3 for Aaron Gwin. It's all coming together.
This is looking like a good run. Barring any mistakes from here to the bottom, he's looking to put it to the hot seat, Will. Gwin, just a master of corner speed, and look at those cranks. He is sprinting into this diving board step down. 0.38 into the green at split 4. All he's got to do from here on to the bottom is hold it together, not case the final jump, and he's going to the hot seat.
Yeah, Gwin's continued to keep it in the green at almost every split as he makes his way down this track at Ride Rock Creek, the opening of the 2025 Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series. Oh, perfect to the landing right there from Gwin. He goes fastest by a half second. Definitely got some time on that last landing. What a run from Aaron Gwin. Welcome back, Mr. Gwin.
Great riding from Gwin. He found a couple of seconds off of his seating time, but I'm sure he was just shy of his goal. You got to think Aaron was probably aiming for about a 151, wanting to beat Asa Vermette, which we're going to see coming down the hill last. But unbelievable racing from Aaron. He is 100% and dangerous.
Well, the next man is dangerous on the downhill circuit. He's 30 years old, but a little bit young in his pro downhill career because Richie Rude has been dominating the Enduro World Series for the better part of a decade.
Showing off a little forearm flex for the people. Got to wonder if that short sleeve jersey is, to minimize arm pump on this short sprint track here at Ride Rock Creek.
Yeah, Richie Rude's got this big return to downhill. Look at the scrub there. And he's up by almost a half second.
Smashing. He wants that $500. I think that's the biggest margin we've seen thus far in finals, Will. That split 1.
He is just throwing that Yeti around off of all these rocks, scrubbing anything he can see. Split number 2, what's it going to tell us? He's lost just a little bit of time. He's just 0.5 back there. That's nothing on this track.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't tell if Richie is just overriding the track or if he's a little bit tense. He certainly lost some time between split 1 and 2, but he's got plenty of track here to reel it back in. Holy cow, he just blasted that corner. Sick riding from Richie Rude. Now he's 1 second
look at
back.
the gap. Yeah, he's destroying this course. The one thing he really doesn't have on his resume is a big National Series DH win here in the U.S.
Well, he's got his work cut out for him if he wants to reel in about 4 seconds to take it to the top step at the moment. 143, yep, he's maintaining that 1 second deficit. I don't know if he's got enough in the tank here or enough track to reel in a bunch of positions the way he's going to want to, Will.
Yeah, he was 3rd place there at split number 4 as Richie Rude looks to bring it on home here at Ride Rock Creek. Rude going to cross the line. He's going to stay 3rd. So 154. It's going to be 0.8 seconds back on Aaron Gwin.
He reeled it in. And track speed is looking about the same as it was in seating, just assuming that these riders are bumping it up a little bit. Times are right around what we saw seating. And Richie Rude, he really crushed this top half of the track, but I think he just was starting to override and got a little bit tight midway to the finish.
Well, 4 riders left to go. Luca Shaw out of Pisgah Forest, North Carolina. Hair blowing in the breeze here. Grizz looking pretty comfortable here at his home track.
Looking comfortable. Looking like he's ready to sharpen up the business end of that haircut into a mullet. You know what I mean? That could shave off about 4 seconds off your finals time anywhere in the world, Will.
Well, he definitely shaved a couple tenths off, doubling, pre-hopping over one of those logs in the upper rocks. SR Sun Tour hole shot. Oh,
Bang.
And he's got it. Another half-second margin, 17.6.
All right. All he has to do is maintain, and Luca Shaw can certainly do it. He is a rider that makes minimal mistakes. It's so rare. We did see him make a big bobble at Tennessee National. Yeah, look at these gaps. Talk about locals only. Luca's got all the rock gaps.
Oh, it is on right now. This could be a race-winning run. Luca pulling out all the lines. He's 1.1 seconds up, Griz.
He is just reeling it in. Look at that, 2 sprint cranks into that steep bit. I mean, he's just going to be extending his gap. Let's see what split 3 tells us.
Couple more powerful pedals, yeah, from Shaw as he winds it up there on this little bit flatter piece of track. 1 second into the green, so 126.65.
Looking good for Luca Shaw, and look at those brake bumps. I mean, tons of feedback into these riders' hands and arms.
Oh, just ripped that left-hander. You can hear some rocks flying out of the berm. He's still green, 1.3. He's got to try to get everything he can out of this bottom section of the track to hold off these final 4 riders.
That was a really good rhythm through that final section there. Singled, doubled out, and just greased that rock gap. Tons of speed, whipping it out for the crowd on the cranks, coming to the line.
Luca Shaw goes fastest, 152. It's a 1.8 second margin over Aaron Gwin. Oh, yeah, he's going to be stoked with that.
Oh, yeah, that was a look of confidence from Luca Shaw. 152, that could be a winning time. I don't know that this track is running any faster than it was for seeding, Will, just based on the times we've seen so far from these heavy hitters.
Oh, and there's that big gap. I'm curious if we see anyone else hit that today. We've only got 3 more riders left. Let's hear from Luca in the finish line.
All right, I'm just catching up with Luca Shaw here. Dude, I know you probably barely caught your breath yet, but dude, you're in front of your hometown right now, sitting on the hot seat. How you feeling about that?
Yeah, still out of breath. Oh, God. Yeah, it was a good run. It was so windy at the top, so that was kind of throwing me off a little bit, but same for everyone. So, yeah, happy with the run. It dried up a lot. It's really drifty, a lot less traction than yesterday, but rolling quicker too. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm breathing.
Hey, man, catch your breath. You deserve it. You earned it. That was super sick to see you throw down such a heater.
Well, 3 riders left to go. We don't get a breather, Griz, because Tyler Waite, the Oceania Continental champ out of New Zealand, is on track.
Well, we know these Kiwis are capable. Jonty Williamson threw down a heater just a few minutes ago. What does the young man, Tyler Waite, got in store for us today?
No, he's slicing up those corner knobs on the upper section. SR Suntour hole shot coming at us. Oh, and he's not going to get it, so Luca got to hold on to it for one more rider.
Yep, just 1/100th back. That is a fast first split. And we'll see if Tyler can build into this run and find some time. He needs to get a 152 and change or better if he wants to take the hot seat, Will.
Well, Waite trying to get into a rhythm here at Rock Creek. There is a certain rhythm and flow to this track, and he's on pace. Just 0.3 of a second with the manual out.
And Waite did not pedal into that uphill off-camber bit like we saw Luca Shaw, so let's see if that cost him any time at the next split. Other than that, his composure is looking phenomenal.
Yeah, able to get another couple powerful pumps right there. Oh, and he's still on pace, so really hasn't lost any more time. He's a half second back.
Looked like he set up a little bit outside, dodged some of those brake bumps. Good utilization of the track here from Tyler Waite. For such a young dude, he's looking like he's got all the experience in the world, and he's reeling in that time, Will. Here he comes. What's he going to do for us in this final rhythm? Just floats it.
Yeah, he is reeling the time. It's coming back to Tyler Waite. He's only 0.2 of a second into the red. Nothing between him and the finish line, but a big tug here on the finish line jump here at Rock Creek. He throws it so sideways. Oh, that's surely going to help him. And he's still right there. Wasn't able to pull time back. Goes into second place, but it's a 152.4. That's only 0.4 of a second off of Ace's time from yesterday.
So 152 is the time to beat. Will we see anyone get a 151 or maybe even a 150? Is it even possible?
Look at this line here from Waite. Just gets that front wheel up in the air. Perfect backside with the manual out. Super unique riding from the Kiwi. 2 riders left to drop. Ryan Pinkerton seated second yesterday for the Mondraker Factory Racing Team. Griz, this young 20-year-old has been on a tear. Can he put it together today?
Well, I think for Pinkerton to put it together, he needs to just back his intensity off a little bit. Slower will be faster for Ryan Pinkerton. We saw him seed first and finish 6th at the Tennessee National. And he has a tendency of overriding tracks. We saw him override this track at National Champs last year.
Well, he's right there in touch. He's a wrecking ball on a downhill bike. He's just 300ths out of the top time right there.
No kidding. I mean, Pinkerton really does remind me. His aggression is the same level of Chris Kavarik in his prime. Hands down.
Oh, we saw Pinky on a great line right there. Pretty similar to what we saw Antione Pierron do earlier in the order, split number 2. And he's still right there, just 2/10 in the red.
That's right, and I like the fluidity I'm seeing from Pinkerton today. He is not overriding this track. He's got his intensity bumped back just a little bit, and it is keeping him in the fight here, Will. He's right in touch.
Well, you know, he's been getting some good advice from his teammate Dakota Norton, who's been on site this weekend, healing vibes to Dak, and he keeps reeling time in. He's just 0.14 off.
This is what Pinkerton needs to do. I mean, imagine how difficult it is. You're so capable, you're so aggressive that you have to tune back your riding to go faster. I mean, that's got to be a challenge for this 20-year-old.
Yeah, he's a danger man to the entire field. He's still right there, just 400ths now.
He is reeling it in as we come to the finish line. I think he is capable here. If he just greases this buttery smooth like he did, yeah, oh, and he's taking the same line as Gwin into this Rock Creek step down, into the final jump. Ooh, we got a nail-biter finish here, Will.
Oh, Ryan Pinkerton, he goes big on that last jump. Oh, it'll be just outside the time. 0.17 off of Luca Shaw. Shaw with a little wry smile right there. But Pinkerton right there in the mix.
You know, it's not going to be the win that he's looking for, but Brian has got to take note that this is probably the best race run he's thrown down in about a year. He backed off his intensity, put himself in a good position without any mistakes from top to bottom. He can build from here and get that elusive win.
One rider left to go, and it's Asa Vermette out of Durango, Colorado. He's loose, he's relaxed, he's got the national championship sleeve on his jersey and the world championship stripes for race day.
You got to look good and feel good to go good, right? Look good, feel good, ride good. Asa Vermette on track with the number 3 on the front of the frameworks. What can he do for us today? He needs to just rinse and repeat, maybe find a second off of his seating time, and he'll get the win today, Will.
Oh, man, went deep there on the scrub. Oh, but it's a 15.2, so he's right where he needs to be. I could hear him make a little noise. Hopefully I didn't throw him off.
Yeah, I heard that. Oh, he did go a little deep, but he's collected himself. Paces, look at that. Oh, that gap is so sick. I mean, those rocks are gnarlier than they look on camera in reality.
Yeah, he made it look like nothing. Even had time to throw a little bit of steez, and he's pulling it back, 0.3. So it's a 59.86. That's a little slower than he was in seating yesterday.
A little bit slower, no cranks going into the steep off-camber bit here, but we just saw these past 3 riders pump through that section and actually gain time, so Asa's got his work cut out for him. He'll need to reel it back in if he wants to get the win or maintain a top 3. And holy cow, there it is. He's 0.28 into the green, Will.
Yeah, he's back into the green. I can hear the drivetrain screaming when he grabbed a gear and those powerful sprint pedals. And we know Vermette's really going to turn it up towards the bottom of this track.
Yeah, I just saw him taking the main line, coming into these corners. He utilized all those brake bumps maybe to tactically slow him down without braking. He's extending his gap, Will. Holy smokes. Asa Vermette is the business. Hanging up a little bit on that step up, but look at this exit out of here. Super clean.
Nothing between Vermette and a win, but a massive finish line jump here at Rock Creek. Vermette, oh, he's going to keep it so low, tags that landing just a bit. Vermette goes fastest, 151.71, takes it below 152, half a second into the green. Vermette going to take the win here at the opening round of the Monster Energy Pro Downhill.
What a dramatic finish. Green, red, back to green. We love to see this. I mean, Rock Creek always delivers super tight racing. Asa Vermette just about gave me a heart attack. And this race run for sure got sweaty palms from that one. Love to see it. Asa Vermette back in U.S. Downhill. Let's hear it from him.
All right, I'm down here with Asa Vermette. Dude, rocking that full rock star style. You closed last year out super strong. You started this year out arguably even stronger, rocking the rainbow colors. You just won the first Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series, round 1. Dude, how you feeling, man?
Good, dude. Run was pretty loose. I can tell from the split. I know exactly where I messed up, too. Burnt my tire off the stall. I was like, oh, we got to push from here. And the rest of the run was pretty smooth. So, yeah, stoked, feeling good. Stoked to go into another year of World Cup racing, and it's going to be cool.
Yeah, super cool. So I know you've been, putting a lot of time and effort in. We've been hearing about the training program, taking that to another level. And were there any moments today where you're just like, oh, brother, aside from burping a tire or whatever, were you just kind of on the fine line, or were you kind of like trying to keep it in realm because you had a really strong seed yesterday?
Yeah, thank you. I was just trying to have a smooth run, yeah. I was just pushing a little too hard over the stall and whipped it too much. But yeah, on the rest of the run, I wouldn't say I was on the edge of crashing. I was just trying to do what I didn't practice, just have fun with it and yeah, let it go.
Yeah, sick. Well, dude, rock and roll. Killed it. Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Well, here's our podium for round number 1 of the Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series presented by Continental. 5th place, Gwin, Tyler Waite in 4th, Ryan Pinkerton 3rd, Luca Shaw in 2nd, Asa Vermette starting his season off with a big win here at Ride Rock Creek.
And let the festivities begin.
Here comes the champagne, Grizz.
These Groms really got to figure out the champagne. If they're going to win races, you got to make it rain.
Luca's letting him have it.
Gwin just hosing everybody down. All right,
Pinkerton coming out on the bad end of that one. Yeah, Ace is going to make sure everybody gets a little taste.
This is Martinelli's, right?
Luca Shaw, Ryan Pinkerton.
Our winners of the SR Sun Tour Hole Shot Award for round number 1 here at Ride Rock Creek, Aletha Ostgaard and Luke Mulally taking home $500 cash. Aletha Ostgaard, no surprise, dominated every facet of the race today, but Luke Mulally, a junior, taking home $500 today, Grice.
Luke Mulally making Monster Pro Downhill history, being the first junior to take home $500 and win the SR Sun Tour Hole Shot. And then Aletha Ostgaard, just total domination, a $4,500 payday. Not a bad weekend at the races.
Charging hard. Number 1 spot. Allie's getting bombarded on all sides.
Hey everybody, the captain here, all wrapped up at Ride Rock Creek for stop number 1 of the Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series presented by Continental Tire. Congrats to Asa and Allie on their victories in stop number 1, and we're going to head from one creek to another. That's right, we are heading to Mountain Creek in Vernon, New Jersey for stop number 2, May 8th through 11th. Make sure you check out ProDownhillSeries.com for all the details and get yourself registered. Can we get a push, please? Anyone? Can somebody push to get me over there, please?